Welcome to Survival Zone Switzerland. It's Monday, and as you can see, overnight we've had a little bit of snow, so everything's looking kind of Switzerlandy. We made some tests with the 3 types of fire lighter in the woodshed studio yesterday, which we're going to show you in the video. Have had some comments about the other videos about the audio being a little bit quieter, so we'll boost the audio as good as we can and enjoy fire lighter tests in the woodshed. So, Survival Zone Switzerland, a bit more of an in-depth look at some types of fire starter. Our friend, the Light My Fire ferro rod, most of us know this in there's a large version and a small version. I'll take some detailed photos of this. So we're going to look at wet fire. This is wet fire. Wet fire comes packed in a sort of foil packet. And we're going to look at Tinder Quick. Tinder Quick is kind of a wick. It reminds me a bit of sort of paraffin lamp wicks. We're going to light these. We're also going to light some, this is Foilito, something like this. I keep getting the name wrong probably. Just to reiterate, there are 72 of these in a packet for 2 Swiss francs. I do believe there were 4 of these wet fire for $12, and I think there were 4 or 5 of these for $4. This is the wet fire. Decided I'm not going to use Light My Fire, because Light My Fire we have no problem getting sparks with, but with the GearPods Frontier set comes a sparker. There's no name written on this, so I can't tell you whose this is, but basically this is like the inside of a bic or a lighter. It's got a flint in there, and there's some arrows on this. I'll show this in a bit more detail to show you which way to move the striker, and when you do this, just like a lighter, it makes some sparks. This is big enough to get in your hand. I guess if you were cold you could use this one-handed. We're going to use this to light all 3 of these. Here we go. So, first up on the table, let's look at the Tinder Quick. As you can see, I've already lit this a bit, so this end has already been fluffed up and is a little bit burnt. So just in case you think I'm cheating, I'm not going to use this end. I'm going to turn it over and use the unused end. So this doesn't really have a smell. I don't think it's impregnated with anything, but I'm going to Google and let you know. So instructions say to open out an end and fluff it up. So we've opened out an end and fluffed it up. Let's see how many strikes with the striker. This is the striker that comes with the GearPods Survival set, Frontier set. So sparks away. Let's see how many it takes. 2, 3, 4. Okay. 5th. There it is. This is my heat test. I think I'll have any trouble starting a fire with this. It's been lit for a few seconds now. It hasn't burnt all the way along. Don't know how long this takes or if this indeed will burn out. We're at about 30 seconds now. Watching the clock on the camera. That's another good 30 seconds has gone. It's still quite hot and has become a kind of a glowing kind of embery thing. Tinder quick. There it goes. It's another minute gone by over here on this camera, so there you are. What are we left with? We are left with not much. And apart from the burn mark, there is a bit of a wet stain on the wood here. So that would indicate to me that there was some kind of accelerator in there. Okay, Tinder quick. Next up is wet fire. Wet fire is made from wet fire. It's on the back here. This is made from the Ultimate Survival, ultimatesurvival.com. The Revere Supply Company. They make wet fire. It says on the packet, scrape tinder shavings into pile to light, flammable, keep away from children. So don't eat this. Already got one open. Looks like that. This reminds me of the paraffin firelighters that my parents used to use for lighting the boiler at home when I was a kid. It even smells like that. This one's actually been out of the packet for a week now. There's, if you look on my trailer, which was made at the same time as the GearPods review, you'll see me light a bit of this. Well, this is the rest of that. There you are. Just to show you how much of that has come out of there. I'm pretty sure that if I lit this it would last a long time. However, what we're going to do is we're going to do what it says, we're going to break a bit off. We're going to turn it into some smaller pieces, like that. Put them in a pile. As I can already see that the wood underneath this is already wet. Everywhere it touches it, it leaves a little trail. So this is definitely, there is definitely an accelerator in there. So once again, with the sparker from the GearPod Survival set, let's see how many sparks it takes, or if it manages to light this. Oh, okay, straight away. There's definitely accelerator in there then, without a doubt, and that's a hell of a flame. And here we go, and the clock is running. See how long, or indeed if it manages to set fire to my piece of elm here. Let's come back and see how long it lasts. Just to let you know that it's a much dirtier flame. I wonder if you can see this, that the flame is much dirtier. There's a lot of black smoke coming off of this flame from whatever that is. I guess it is some kind of paraffin. The flame is much higher, so the heat is all the way up here. Let's come back. Lovely. Okay, that was wet fire. This is wet fire, comes in this foil sealed packet. Let's have a look and see what wet fire leaves for us. Wet fire leaves nothing but some charcoal. The wood there are some burn marks around the wood, and you can quite clearly see where the piece of wet fire was. and it definitely smells like paraffin. So next up is our friend from the Co-op, the cheap and cheerful ecological firelighter. We think this one is called Flamino or Foilino or something like this. If you buy this from our Co-op here in Switzerland, there are 72 of these for 2 francs. Let's just bear that in mind with the cost of the others. So here we go, same thing, we're going to break a piece of this off. And using the sparker from the GearPod survival set, we'll see how many sparks it takes to light this. So here we are. Here's the box from the stuff from Co-op. Indeed it is called Flamino. According to the thing on the front, it's apparently it has a ecological tree sign on it. So my assistant here when it comes to fire, Caris, she will now read to you what this stuff, what it's made of. Caris, read this. What does it say there?
You have to do it on Dutch or on English.
No, you can read it in German. You read it in German and I'll translate it.
Right.
So it says up here, Caris will now read what the Flamino firelighters are made of. The Flamino firelighters are made of there.
Right here.
Yeah, go on.
Zusammensetzung.
That means what it's made of.
Holz.
Holz is?
70%.
Okay, and what is Holz, Caris?
Wood.
Wood.
70%.
70%, yeah. And it actually tells you what kind of wood is it. What kind of wood is it? Kiefer. We'll put a little box down here to let you know what kiefer is. And also it says something else. What does it say?
Pollen.
Pollen. The pollen from a kiefer. We'll put a little box down here to explain that. Okay, what else has it got?
Wax 30%.
Wax. 30% wax. So, let's recap. In this ecological fire starter, it is 70% wood and 30% wax. So, wax.
That's just hilarious.
That's just hilarious, says Caris. Why is that hilarious?
Because I thought it would have like much more stuff in it.
Ecologically friendly. Wood and wax. So we break a piece off and you can see straight away that it kind of can be fluffed up. It's some sort of a paper material. We'll also do some googling afterwards to see what it's made of. I think we've fluffed it up enough. That's a similar amount to the Tinder Quick and the wet fire that we had. So here we go. Like the Tinder Quick, I'm going to actually hold this up against the spark like this. Here we go. Count the sparks, folks. So once again the clock is running. Let's see how long this little bit of firelighter works. And while we're doing that, I'll talk to Caris. Hello, Caris.
Hello.
Oh, it talks. Okay, my commentary, as you can see, it's quite a clean flame. Blue at the bottom. Very similar heat to the Tinder Quick that we had. The little piece that we had on there is still burning. I don't think this will burn anywhere near as long as this stuff. This stuff burns quite vigorously. I can imagine in the rain that the wet fire is probably quite a handy thing to have. This is almost out. There's a little bit there, look. Leaves a nice glowing ember though. Let's bear that in mind. This only burnt when it was burning. The Tinder Quick went also quite fast, but this, and the flame is almost out. leaves quite a good ember. What are we left with? We are left with, absolutely, I'm pretty sure that if I blow on that, then we are left with pretty much nothing. So, pros and cons, let's get it out again just so everybody knows what it is we're talking about. Our friend Tinder Quick, the lightable wick. Our friend Wet Fire, the paraffin firelighter. This cheap and cheerful, ecological, don't know what, from Co-op. Caris finds that funny. There they are. That's our look at 3 types of lighting fire. See you next time, Survival Zone Switzerland.